Hello and welcome back. My name is Poppy and today I'm going to be doing an updated berserker guide. So as you guys can see, I'm at the path to Redwood Pass. So normally you could go follow this path to get to Warrior Stronghold. There's actually like a little secret, I guess. And it's just basically a faster way to get to Warrior Stronghold. So if you climb up here, you can see there's a catapult, and so just use it to get over here. So if for the trainer location, you want to go up these stairs and into this door. Oops. Then you're on the roof of the warrior stronghold. You want to go to this watchtower. Over here, you'll find the berserker trainer. For the abilities, you have for the adventurer book, I have rock throw because there used to be a glitch where you could use rock throw and then immediately use blade spin, and you would be able to run. You would be able to sprint and jump, but it doesn't work anymore. So there's nothing you really need. So just choose whatever you want. Later for the warrior book, triple slash because on the third slash you slash with both your weapons, so it does a lot of damage, and because you swing relatively quickly because of how much dex you have, so I really like it compared to like paladins, which I only put one because of how slow they are. Then max ground slam because I just really like the ability and it does a lot of damage and has a lot of, it's very good for controlling like a lot of enemies at once. Max combat roll, mostly for just mobility and moving around the map, although it's also really good for PvP if you use berserker for PvP, which normally people don't, but hey, you can do you. And then obviously the ones that are left on spin slash. The reason why I didn't put any on parry is because since berserkers are I normally use them to take down bosses. I don't, and parry is like mostly a PvP move. I don't really use it. But if you do want to use parry, put I recommend putting 1 point and then the rest into spin slash. But and so you can choose in between putting one into parry or putting the rest into spin slash. And then for the berserker book, I actually have a pretty different build to like different like other guides, and I think this build works really well. So as you know, they added more points, so now it's obligatory to like add to Warcry unless you just don't add to anything at all. But the reason why I have exactly 4 points is because once you get 4 points, at 1 point, at 4 points, and I think at 7 points, your and maybe at 10, I'm not sure, your buff starts, it gets upgraded at each of those like I guess points. So I put exactly 4 so that I could get that buff upgrade. Max blade spin because I just like the ability and it's probably my favorite out of the berserkers. And then the rest in Ferocious Assault. Now, I don't recommend taking any points out of Warcry, but if you prefer Ferocious Assault to Blade Spin, you can definitely put 1 point onto Ferocious Assault and or the other way around, like I do. So it's really up to you. Ferocious Assault, if you don't know it, there's a little glitch. I'm not sure if it got patched yet. That's it for the abilities. Now we'll move on to the stats. Now, for the stats, it's pretty simple. um 50 decks, because once you get because I didn't really want to put 70 decks, because at 70 decks you get a perk where you your melee attack is faster, but I already felt like berserkers were fast enough, so I just got the this. Now I'll put all the stat perks on screen now so that you can decide by yourself. But I would, if you want to put more decks, I recommend putting 70, not more. And if you want to put less than 70 decks, I don't recommend going on below 50, because um, I'm not sure which, because like that you can just have a higher crit chance and a faster speed. And then the rest into strength, because you want to do as much damage as possible as quickly as possible. So yeah, that's it for the strength, I mean for the stats. Okay, now for the armor. um for the headgear, I would use the Forgotten Helmet, because it gives you the most stats out of any helmet, which is actually useful for you. So yeah, Forgotten Helm for headgear. Now, for the chest piece, it's actually debatable. Normally, people will just use gladiator armor because of its perk, which is really good, because it hires the DPS by 20% more. But then again, you also take more damage. Um, so what I would say is that if you're fighting a boss, definitely use gladiator armor. And if you are the type of person that in PvP really likes just like killing your enemy as fast as possible, even if you take a lot of damage, then keep using gladiator armor. But I would personally use like not hobo armor anymore, because they like nerfed it so hard, but the Dune's plate armor, which you can buy in the gauntlet. I would use that myself because it's way safer, and I just think it's better for PvP, especially against hunters who don't really need more damage because they already have such low health. So I feel like you're gonna lose more than they do. So yeah, it's really your choice, but I would but the only thing I do recommend, really recommend, is using gladiator armor for bosses. Then for the swords, you can rather use the scrap sword for more damage, or you can use Azira's Edge. So because of the way its perk works, so basically every time you get a crit, you get a 7.5 second. You have 7.5 seconds where you swing faster, which is really pretty good. But um, this ability it only works when you get a crit, and then again, you do swing very fast, so the chances of you getting the crit get is higher. So for bosses, I definitely do recommend Azura's Edge, but for PvP, definitely use the Scrap Sword. Not because it does more damage, but it it's not really because it does more damage. It's just that Azura's perk doesn't really help in that situation, unless you um just want to walk up to him, follow him the entire match. But that's very unlikely because they'll just juke you and stuff. So um for bosses, Azura's Edge is good, although you can also choose between the scrap swords. And then for PvP, it doesn't really matter if you don't have scrap swords, because it's just a little bit of more damage. But if you do have scrap swords, I think it's better. But then again, remember, if Azira's Edge has like strength, like fierce, which it probably doesn't anymore because they took it out of the game. But if there's any perks that make it better than the scrap sword, don't use it. Don't you change it to the scrap sword. Just keep the Azira's Edge. And then last but not least, for the boots, I use gladiator boots because of the extra strength, and because of the little bit of defense. but it's mostly because of the strength, and it also just kind of looks cool. And there's really just not other boots that really benefit warriors in general that much. Um, so yeah, I'll just use the gladiator boots. Um, so yeah, that's it for my berserker guide. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this helped you um like pick your build for your berserker. Um, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.